Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony. Welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. So I had another video scheduled for today. I probably will upload it later, but we are having the Yannick Ngakoue talk. I did a film analysis on him earlier and told you why the Giants should not pick him up. And I thought different guys like Cameron Wake would be much more viable options, but we decided to go like the Kyler Fackrell route with, Carter Coughlin, brought back Marcus Golden, and did all those separate things. But today I'm going to be breaking down where Yannick Ngakoue is going to go because reports came out that Yannick Ngakoue is going to be traded tomorrow for a second-round pick, and maybe more than that, but basically he is being traded for a second-round pick. We saw this, I think, like during the offseason. We've seen this before, like a trade is imminent. We saw Dak Prescott, the contract is imminent. Then things happen, things fall through and things like that. The Giants signed Ross Cockrell, things fall through. So it's not completely confirmed, but let's go through all the teams that I think could sign a Yannick Ngakoue. Now, in the beginning, my first thought was Seahawks because he has that opinion, but Jamal Adams is already at that spot. They spent 2 first-rounders and a third, so I don't think he's going to go to Seattle. But Yannick Ngakoue would have been a good option for them. They're going to sign Jadeveon Clowney, or it's going to be whatever. Yannick Ngakoue has said that he's going to be playing under the franchise tag this year. So there are a couple of options for teams that, are glaring. Teams that have a lot of cap space. I've heard the Cleveland Browns getting Yannick Ngakoue, but you know what? I don't think it's going to quite fit with that culture, bring too many personalities in. I don't think Joe Woods is going to be totally in with that, but you never know. I said that they were out on the Odell thing. I broke it down. I said, no way they're going to sign Odell. They did. And so I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns do this, but they already have Olivier Vernon. They're spending a lot of money in that spot. The Jets, let's talk about the Jets. I think they're a main contender for Yannick Ngakoue. Why? They just got 2 firsts and a third. We all say Joe Douglas is kind of confusing how, you have a quarterback going into his third year, but you don't have a lot of, talent surrounding him on the offense, on the defense. You did lose C.J. Mosley. You did lose, because of, injury and different things like that. Then you traded Jamal Adams away. Their cornerback play isn't great, but they really don't have a pass rush to speak of. They have a solid interior rush. Steve McClendon, fairly solid. Quentin Williams going to his second year. Usually defensive tackles struggle in the first year, but I don't think they have a good enough pass rush to be good. I think that the Jets may go after a Yannick. I think it would be a pretty good exchange if you end up only giving a second round fee for Yannick and you give away 2 firsts and a third, and plus you get Bradley McDougald. I think that would be an amazing deal for the Jets. But does that fit in personality-wise? Maybe not. Maybe not completely, so I would be somewhat cautious there. But you have Jabari Zuniga at the defensive end spot. With Yannick, we saw that him and Josh Allen could be, somewhat of a success. It wasn't like amazing, but it wasn't horrible. So the Jets need to develop somewhat of a pass rush because Adam Gase, he's not quite on the hot seat, but there's that. The Houston Texans don't really have a lot of draft capital to speak of because they gave it up for Laramie Tunsil and Kenny Stills, I believe. So they don't really have a lot of draft assets, but you never would be surprised about the Houston Texans. But personality-wise, I don't think so. The Patriots, they have a lot of young guys that feel like they want to come out and see who's who. They've drafted over the past couple of years. They have had like 13 draft picks over the last 2-3 years each year. So they have a lot of talent that they want, I think, scope out. They have Chase Winovich and guys that are edge rushers, but they didn't really bring too many guys on the edge. I know they brought in Anthony Jennings this year, but they didn't really make that many investments as far as defensive end, but you still have some older guys that are going to be contributing in that aspect, but some of them opted out. So the Patriots would be interesting, but you're going to have to pay them. It doesn't feel like a Patriot-type move. Also going to make a list, probably in a week, talking about the teams that are fighting for it. Teams with the most to prove this year. The teams that are going to be the most focused in this COVID era, and that could mean their success. And one of those teams is probably going to be the Bills. And, I have the Steelers, the Bears, and those types of teams on this list. But the Bills have a lot to prove this year. With the Patriots being bad, are they the kings of this division? Now, you have Josh Allen, good offense, but you don't really have that edge rush guy. Jeff Hughes is a little bit lackluster. I don't like his ability to work on the edge, but you are solid as far as the defensive interior. You have Ed Oliver there that you just drafted. You got rid of Jordan Phillips, who I didn't think was great anyway, but I think they've also made some other moves on the defensive line in this offseason. I think that they're a main candidate to bring in a guy like a Yannick Ngakoue to bring some veracity and tenacity, but is he really going to move from Jacksonville to the Bills? They have a bunch of money to spend, but they may be a little bit conservative because they have a bunch of draft picks that they're going to be paying over the next couple of years. Is Sean McDermott that type of guy? That is yet to be seen, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see if the Bills go on and make a move for Yannick. You have the Lions, who feel like they're clamoring for a guy but that's more on the defensive line, and the Lions run a 3-4, so I don't think he's a scheme fit there. You have the Packers who just paid Kenny Clark, and they feel like they have a good pass rusher, but then again, they did lose a Kyler Fackrell and a Blake Martinez, so that could be a very interesting move for the Green Bay Packers. They have a decent amount of cap space, but not a lot of cap space left, so that would be cool. Obviously, the 49ers are not an option. You feel like the Cardinals are pretty good on the defensive line, but could you bring in a guy opposite of Chandler Jones? You got rid of Terrell Suggs last year; he was in there for 2 seconds. But could you bring in a guy like a Yannick who could work with Isaiah Simmons and make this defense elite? That'd be an amazing option. Tennessee would be another option, but I don't quite think he fits. They do run a 4-3, but Jadeveon Clowney, I think, is the guy that they ultimately want to go after. Maybe they realize that they can't go after Jadeveon, and they want a Yannick Ngakoue, because you do have some talent there, but they lost some talent on that defensive line. You have Jarrell Casey, on Austin Johnson, who the Giants have, that is not on that team. So you did lose a lot of talent there. And then, those are pretty much all the teams I can think of. Take a look at the Redskins. The Cowboys, definitely, that would be a dumb decision for them to do. The Eagles would be another option, but take a look at it. They are in cap hell over the next couple of years, but these are the teams that I'm thinking. Maybe it's the Rams, but they're in a cap financial hell. So every other team that I kind of ran through, I don't think it's a possibility. My top three, number one would be the Jets. Number two would be the Arizona Cardinals, and probably number three would be the Tennessee Titans. I could kind of see it, those are the three teams I think he really fits with. Everyone else is kind of just meh, and I would be very surprised if he joins a team like the Carolina Panthers, because they feel like they're rebuilding in that certain way. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think. Where is Yannick Ngakoue going to go? He's going to join the Giants. I didn't really talk about the Giants this episode. I just think, we have Kyler Fackrell. Again, we went that route. I did talk about that earlier in the episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.